Well, good morning, my friend. Welcome to the Pastor's Podcast, Monday morning. And here we are, another week, the last week of April. And here we are coming down to the end. May's right around the corner. And I hope that you've had a wonderful month of April. And as we get going into the month of May, summertime is around the corner. Graduations are coming up. And boy, we got to stay busy serving the Lord in these days. I hope that you're doing well. I had a great day yesterday here at Maranatha Baptist Church. Again, people saved, people baptized. Great attendance, both yesterday morning and last night. Exciting to see God at work and God still doing what he can do. If we'll just do his work, that's a wonderful thing there. Well, today I want to talk about a word called constancy. First Chronicles 28:7 says, "Moreover, I will establish his kingdom forever. If he be constant to do my commandments and my judgments as at this day." Now, God's promise to bless Solomon and his kingdom depended upon one little phrase. The little phrase is, if he be constant. God was more interested in Solomon doing right day in and day out, more than he was with him having spurts of doing right and then going back to living a life of sin. God knows that constancy is the key to blessings. Now, one of the greatest needs in churches today are believers who will be constant in their Christian walk and ministry. One detriment to our churches today are believers who do right for a short time, then they go back to living a life of sin. Now, you cannot expect God to bless your life when you serve him for a short time, and then you return to go back to live in the world and sin, then you come back to serve God, and then you go back to the world. This back and forth is killing you. If you want God's blessings on your life, you have to be constant in everything that you do. So what does it mean to be constant? Constant means to remain the same over a period of time. So constant means to be faithful to what you're doing. Constant means to be consistent with your life, your actions, your decisions. Being constant is being predictable in actions, beliefs, and decisions. Because you have done these things so many times, you've got to be constant. See, being constant is getting into a routine and sticking with that routine no matter what you face. Now, those who know me know that I'm a man of routine. No matter what day it is, I get up the same time every day. I do the same things at the same time all the time. I read my Bible in the morning every day. I pray in the morning all at the same time every day. I study for sermons on the same day each week. And listen to me, this is what I've chosen to do. That's my routine. That's my consistency, my constancy. That consistency to do what I do is what has kept me constant in serving the Lord. Now, you'll never be constant in serving the Lord unless you're consistent in what you do for the Lord. Consistency is doing the same thing day in and day out. Constancy is not having extreme highs and extreme lows, but it's being that same person, same disposition, same attitude all the time. Now, let me give you some thoughts about this. First, you choose to be constant. You choose to be constant by choosing to be consistent. A person who is not constant they're not constant because they've chosen not to be consistent. If you were to put your life on a spreadsheet and chart how you live, now the question you need to ask yourself is, would that chart show extreme on the bars of life? Would it show extreme highs and extreme lows, or would it show lines that are constant? You have to choose to be constant if you don't want your life to have extreme highs and lows. That leads to inconsistency in your walk with God. Second, it's not easy to be constant, but it can be done. If it was easy to be that consistent day in, day out constancy, then everybody would do it. But there's going to be days when you don't feel like doing right and doing what you're supposed to do. So you cannot let feelings determine your actions, your decisions, your disposition. If your life is going to be constant, you have to choose to be consistent in your actions despite how you feel. There are days you don't feel like going to work. There's days you don't feel like going to church. There's days you don't feel like doing your ministry. There's days you don't feel like being a soul winner. There's days you feel like not being kind to somebody, but you got to be consistent and kind. Third, Constancy determines God's blessings on your life. If you're constant in serving the Lord, you'll find yourself living in the blessings of God. Do not let the major swings of life dictate your feelings in your life, because your swings will make you an inconsistent Christian. The principles of God's word dictate all. If you let those dictate all that you do, you'll be constant, you'll be consistent. When you look at those who God has used throughout life, those he's used the greatest are those, get this now, who have been consistent, constant, day in, day out. For instance, I'm consistent in what I believe. That's not up for grabs. I had a guy last week is out soul winning. He says, I know you believe this, but maybe you ought to question it. I said, I don't need to question. I've settled that a long time ago. I said, I'm not going to question what I believe. I have God's word on it. I don't need to constantly question what I do. If what I'm doing is right, I'm done this. I'm 54 years of age. I'm not going to go back to that part of my life. Done settled what I believe. Now, my friend, you gotta get over this up and down. This world needs Christians who are consistent, who are steady, who are constant in life. That's where you find the blessings of God. You just stay consistent day in and day out, and God sees that you're a constant believer. Those blessings of being consistent will come through at the end. They'll come through. You just got to take that time and be consistent. Even when you don't feel like it, be consistent. Have a consistent attitude, a consistent walk with God, a consistency in your ministry, consistency in your faithfulness, and you'll find God's blessings will be on your life, and it'll spread to your family. And that consistency will build a character trait in your family as well, and those that you influence. I hope this is a help to you today. Now, let's remember today, be good to everyone. Everyone's having a tough time. Have a great day, my friend.